And to get a better sense of how 7 years of war have affected multiple generations of Syrians, I'm joined by the advocacy director of the Syrian American Medical Society, Mohammad Kattoub. Thank you so much for speaking to us. You escaped Syria 4 years ago, and tell us how war affects civilians, people like yourself.
It's much beyond than just being deprived from food and medicine and education. Imagine now kids who grew up in non-government areas who don't know electricity. What's the meaning of electricity? And imagine that they are growing in a place where the board is talking about democracy and human rights, and they don't know the basic of life. They don't know what's the meaning of some kinds of fruits. They just saw it in picture. They are living in enclaves where they cannot move more than 10 kilometers around. And then we are expecting that this generation will be able to build the country in the future. They will not be able to. Even Syrians have been seeking just to earn their bread instead of receiving aid. And also the aid is affecting the population. I visited a Zaatari camp myself. Over 300,000 or 400,000 people living there. And I saw a generation of young men and men also, my age or less, who are just spending the whole time waiting for aid. Within 2 or 3 years, those people will not be able to work. Will not be able to work again, and this affects the mentality of the whole population. Mental health is very basic need in Syria, but who care about it now? And there are much more priorities than just mental health.
You're mentioning Eastern Ghouta. In the past few weeks, we have reports of hundreds of people that have been killed in Russian and pro-regime bombings and artillery attacks in the suburb of Damascus. Tell us what the situation is like, and as somebody from Ghouta, who lived in Ghouta, worked in Ghouta, your sentiments about that.
Well, the regime blocked all the routes inside Eastern Ghouta and making very hard conditions for the UN convoys to go in, and even the alternatives that the people used, like people dig tunnels to bring some items from outside of Ghouta. The regime bombed those tunnels and closed them completely. Even the agriculture, the regime burned all the farms of Eastern Ghouta, and now recently in the past few weeks the regime seized all those farms. So this area have been living without resources for a few weeks now, where people under bombardment living in the underground shelters in very bad conditions, very bad conditions. Still, people want to live. People want to learn, people want to run schools, people want to run hospitals. This is a war, but still Syrian people want to live.
Mohammad Kattoub, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ali.